Hello my lovelies, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, hi, my name is Mary and I give you an extra warm welcome. I would love it if you can click the subscribe button and stay for a while. I upload 3 times a week. Get ready with me, so shop my stash, try on any makeup. If it's beauty or makeup related, I will be posting it. And if you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back. I appreciate you more than you know. So as you could tell from the title of the video, as Natasha Denona released a new eyeshadow palette, to the I Need a Warm palette. You're not having deja vu. This definitely looks similar to the I Need a Nude palette. I thought it, I'm sure you did too. So my palette is here, which means I get to play and I get to show you some comparisons between this palette and some of the other Natasha Denona eyeshadow palettes that I own, specifically the most recent launches that she has done. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm super excited. I would be lying. But I am intrigued to see how this palette will pull on my eyelids. Without further ado, let's just go ahead and get started with this video. All right, before I pull my hair back and we get started with dipping my fingers into this palette, let's talk real quick. So Sephora did a little bit of an early access app exclusive. Was it app exclusive or Rouge? It might have been app Rouge exclusive. It did sell out. I was lucky enough to see it before I started my workout and purchase it because once I was done with my workout and feeding my kids their breakfast and everything, it was sold out. Yeah, so that's why I have it so soon. I believe today, the 22nd, is the official launch day for this palette. I think yesterday you could have gotten it early access through Natasha Denona's website. And if you follow a content creator that has a code, you can get 15% off, which is always nice. Okay, so the I Need a Warm eyeshadow palette, it retails for $69, 15 different shades. I purchased mine through Sephora, like I mentioned already. I'm on the Natasha Denona website because I believe she does have a description here. So, introducing the I Need a Warm eyeshadow palette, the ultimate neutral warm rendition. Okay, I'm glad she put on their neutral warm because the promo pictures and what you actually get, not at all, not at all similar, of Natasha's top seller I Need a Nude eyeshadow palette. Okay, so it sounds like the I Need a Nude is inspiration to this palette, which I can totally see it, like a lot. Featuring a versatile combination of true must-have neutral warm nudes with essential 15-pan midi palette debuts 2 brand new innovative formulas, the Slip Cream Matte and Metal Gloss, including a special Trio Chrome eyeshadow edition. So some new formulation in this palette. Here is what the eyeshadow palette looks like. And it looks like the I Need a Nude, doesn't it? But she did mention in the description that that was an inspiration to this palette itself. And here it is. So I feel like now that I'm looking at it through the viewfinder, because honestly, when I first saw it, I just thought it looked too close to the I Need a Nude. I do see a little bit of that warmth. We'll see how it pulls on my eyes, because honestly, that's the only way on knowing exactly how this is going to look, if it actually is a warm tone palette, because it will probably pull different on everybody. But right now, looking at it, yes, I do feel I see some warmth. But when I opened it yesterday, I did not feel that way. Okay, let's pull my hair back. I have the Dior Matte Foundation, mixed the Surratt 2 drops, and then for concealer, I have the Lancome Teint Idole. Cream products, I went in to the Tarte Man Eater Cream Bronzer and the Dior Cream Contour Stick in 02 Tan. I always link the exact shades of what I use, by the way. Cream blush, I went into the Hourglass, and then I powdered with the One Size Ultra Pink shade for my under eyes, and I used the Laura Mercier loose powder for the rest of my face, and that's it. That's all I have on my face so far. I did want to show you that even though I did order from Sephora, it still comes in the super safe packaging that Ms. Natasha Denona uses when you order through her website. So that's absolutely awesome. I'm thinking she started that because too many people were getting their Natasha Denona palettes shattered and whatnot when they would order from Sephora. That's my guess. Okay, let me go ahead and prime my eyelids and then we'll get started with an eye look. Okay, I applied the NARS eye base and I think I'll start with the darkest brown. Yeah, because this one looks like it's a cream to powder and it'll probably be lighter than what you see in the pan. I feel like a lot of these shades are probably going to look very similar on the lid. So like these two, I feel will look similar, and these two would probably look similar. Yeah, these shimmers as well. I feel like all three of these, maybe this one will look a tiny bit different, but these two probably will look very similar. All right, enough judging. B5 from Blend Buddy, and like I said, this shade here, which is Pep, that is a creamy matte formula. I'm gonna start in the outer corner. And I'm going to do tapping motions first. I enjoy Natasha Denona's formula. I think she does a fabulous job. But I feel like the last, now with this release, 3 releases, it's just been very boring. And I get it. I get it that that's probably what sells. But I just don't want what's happening with Pat McGrath to also happen with Natasha Denona. That would really, really suck. Okay, now with this MY27 from Danessa and My Kid Co. Let's go a little warm. This one to me clearly looks like it's a warm tone. What is it? Fervor? Yeah, going to use this to blend out the edges and then also bring it over here. I think we're going to use that multi-chrome duochrome shade today. Once I get the pigment down, and then that's when I focus on blending. I'm gonna bring it about 2/3 in because I do want to do like a third matte shade, and I think I'm gonna use the lightest one. Okay, so this is definitely leaning warm tone. I think if I would have gone a different way, like say, well, I feel like the neutral is coming more from the browns. So I feel like this one maybe would pull warm just like this one. I feel like this one would be maybe neutral just like that one, and this one might pull warm on my skin tone. And then I do feel like most of the shimmers are pulling warm tone. These two for sure, this one yes, and this one as well. And maybe this is a more neutral as well as this one. So I see what she means by neutral warm. I see it. I guess it just depends on how it pulls on your skin tone. All right, I'm now going to jump into Mellow, and I might not use that as my inner corner because I think it's not going to be light enough. This is just a little mini Natasha Denona brush that I got in, I think it was the Mini Love palette. And I'm going to use this for the crease on the inner portion. See if we can even see it, because it might, well, it's like a very light peach, so you might be able to see it just a tiny bit because of that peachiness in the tone. Since I don't have peach undertones, I think we should be able to barely see it. And I am going to use a tiny bit on the edges of the rest of the shadows. Yeah, see, you can barely see it, but it's fine. I'm okay with that. Under here to blend out the edges. Okay. That's what it's looking like, and it's looking very, very beautiful. The blend is just perfection. Okay, now we're gonna jump in to Phenomena, which is multichrome. Multichrome. It has MC on the description of the shade. I do have my NYX glitter glue on. Okay, and that's gonna go right here. I don't want it to take over the eye look. Multichromes, I am a fan of them, but sometimes I feel they can be a little intimidating and just kind of take over the whole eye look. I feel like because of the shifts in this one, it actually goes pretty well. All right, apologies. I thought I was filming. I dipped into Fancy, which is described as a metallic shade. It's a pretty light shimmer. I might add a tiny bit more of the multichrome, but we'll see how it looks. Okay, with the middle finger, just a tiny bit into the multichrome just to blend them in seamlessly. Okay, I think I'm going to use that Fancy shade in the inner corner. So I'm going to spray the back of my hand. This is a Moda 6x5 brush. It's a precision lip, but I use this for my inner corner shades all the time. So I did wet the brush a tiny bit, dipping into that shade, and this will be the inner corner shade. Yeah, okay, perfect. All right, let me go ahead and finish off camera, and I'll be right back. All right, my lovelies, makeup is nice and done. It's pretty cloudy here, so if lighting seems off, that's why. Okay, let me go ahead and tell you what else I have on my face while I show you a clip of these swatches. I like to create eye looks before I go into the swatches, and then I also don't really do live swatches often unless it's a smaller palette, but there is plenty of other content creators that do live swatches. Okay, so for powder bronzers, I went into the Haus Labs and the Unearthly Cosmetics Glow Bronzer. I always link the exact shades of what I use. Then for the blushes, I went into the Haus Labs in Fire Moon, I think it's the name, and the new Fenty Beauty in Baking Cakes, I think is the name of that one. For brows, I went into the Dominique Cosmetics Brow Pencil, Make Beauty Brow Gel, Ilia Mascara, and then for the lips, I have on my Refy Beauty Lip Sculpt in Dusk, and I went into my Gucci matte lipstick. I think They Met in Argentina is the name of the shade. And then for highlighter, I did go into the Dior bronzer and highlighter duo, but just used the highlighter in that little palette. Okay, here is the final eye look with the I Need a Warm palette. I do enjoy that multichrome, but I think it's because it's more warm tone leaning. Like even when it does look green, when I turn, it doesn't create a weird shadow on my eyelid. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed the eye look I created with this palette. I might have to do a separate video and maybe create a warm eye look and a more neutral eye look, see if we can actually get both. So far, yes, I'm enjoying this palette, but I still agree with what I said as far as some of these tones just being a tiny bit redundant, because I feel like shimmer wise, they won't look too different on the eyelid. Tones as well, like these two are similar in depth, and yes, they look different here. Yes, they look different when you swatch them, but on the eyelid, that's the true test. Like if you were to put the shades that look similar to each other right next to each other on the lid, don't you think that they would look just pretty much almost identical? So I don't think we needed this. I don't think we needed this. Now, I'm the type of person where I always give people the benefit of the doubt. So I don't know if maybe she's bringing these staple palettes into her line because maybe the bronze, maybe the sunset, some of those other palettes that have been a part of her brand for so long might be going away soon. That's a logic or a theory I came up with on why, like, we're getting this and we're thinking, well, why is she giving us this if we already have it, you know? I don't know. I would love to hear your thoughts. I would love to hear if you purchased this or you passed, your initial thoughts, everything. I enjoy chatting with you all in the comment section, but we are going to do some comparisons to this new palette. Okay, so the first palette I thought of was the I Need a Nude. Similar vibes, right? That like retro kind of style I'm getting from both. As far as the cover goes, here they are side by side. I Need a Nude is up top and the I Need a Warm is on the bottom. So I feel that if the background of this palette was light like this one, they would look fairly similar. I would have to really test it out, but I just feel like we get similar vibes. I don't know. You all tell me. I also pulled out the golden palette. This one always makes my camera go all cuckoo, so bear with me. Okay, so the golden palette is up top and the I Need a Warm is on the bottom. Not exactly, like if we didn't have the gold on this palette and it was more this tone, I think we would find some similarities, but I would say maybe the shimmers lean a tiny bit more yellow in this one. But I still feel like yet another neutral palette. I also pulled out the bronze palette, and that is because this is such a warm tone palette. And so when I think of I Need a Warm palette, this is what I think of, but the I Need a Warm is totally warm. You know, it pulls very orangey, not even close. But for me, when I think of warm tones, this is what I think of. I feel like this might be one of my favorites from Natasha Denona. I love this palette. She's so pretty. All right, my lovelies, that's going to be it for this video. I wish I could do another eye look, but I think I'm going to save it for a different video. I don't think you'll be able to get too many different eye looks with this palette. I think they're all going to look very similar. Only difference you might actually see is just how you play around with the shimmers. So creating like 5 looks, 1 palette kind of video with this. I think the best you can do is maybe switch up your shades. So like the outer corner crease, a halo eye. I think that would be the best way to make it look a tiny bit different. But I feel like just like with the I Need a Nude and maybe the golden palette, every eye look is going to kind of look pretty much the same. All right, my lovelies, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate every single one of you. You have no idea. All the comments, all the likes, if you use my links to shop, it truly all does mean the world to me. I hope you enjoyed the eye look. I definitely tried to go a tiny bit more on the warm tone side since the palette is called I Need Warm. And I'm glad that in her description, she did mention that this is a neutral, warm kind of palette. Because when you look at the name and you look at the inside, you're just kind of like, wait, what? This is not a warm tone palette, you know? Do not forget to let me know down below if you purchased this or passed. I feel like it was pretty 50-50. You were either excited or you weren't. Let me know. With that being said, do not forget to give the video a big thumbs up. And also don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. And I will see you all on my next video. Bye.